Good afternoon, everyone, and yes, indeed, it's a very exciting moment that I can stand up here and address you as the leader of Cornerstone Institute. I've just been in this position for 4 months. No, 1 month. 4 weeks. I've been in this position for 4 weeks, and I think the staff that you've just been introduced to can attest to the fact that it's been a real whirlwind of a week, where in fact we went through a process of putting in place a strategic plan, which was an internal process of listening and sharing and collecting information and trying to come to grips with what it is we're confronting. And all in all, it was a very successful process. I can proudly state that. But we felt that the process would not be complete if we didn't invite people who surrounded our work as associates, people who we would consider to be part of the Cornerstone family. So the people that we had in mind then was our part-time faculty, as well as the network of professionals that we've been working with collectively at Cornerstone, the staff of Cornerstone, the professionals within Cornerstone. Who are the people out there that we've been associated with and who we would want to include in the process of mapping out the direction of our organization. And so we thought of you. So thank you very much for taking out of your time to come and be with us and to come and share the shaping of this journey that Cornerstone has embarked upon. So I want you to know that today is not the launch of Cornerstone's new direction. This is still very much part of our consultative process. And nothing that we're doing is absolutely cast in stone. We're still very open to listening, sharing, and getting further inputs on what it is that we need to do to indeed make Cornerstone an institution that started on the Cape Coast, in Surrey Estate, in Klipfontein Road, in the area where I grew up, into a world-class institution. And that is where we are committed to taking our organization to. And we know that we can't do that without support. You can't do big things like a small start and propelling it into the global arena on your own. You have to do it with others. And the others that we have in mind include you. So therefore, we've invited you to be part of this process today. And we've asked you to share your details with us so that when we move on to the next phase of the work that we want to do, that you will indeed be included. So what we're hoping to achieve out of today is the beginning of what we'd like to call the Cornerstone Professional Network. We don't know whether it should be formalized or whether it should be related to our payroll and who it is that Cornerstone brings in as part of our part-time faculty, working with us in doing research, teaching, lecturing, facilitating, designing materials, designing curriculum, working as online specialists on the various initiatives that Cornerstone has already embarked upon and ones that we want to take on into the future. Working as mentors, as coaches, as I can't even begin to think of the range of services that Cornerstone will need. And we know that you as professionals will be able to bring that value that we're looking to Cornerstone. So yes, indeed, we want to create work for people. We want to make Cornerstone a place where the skills base and the knowledge base and the experience that we know people in this audience have, and many other people out there, is used productively in the service of what we hope will be a common cause. And so what I need to talk about then today is, what is this common cause? What is this road that Cornerstone has walked today? And what have we put on the table in terms of where it is that we'd like to go to in the future? Now I have an amazing bunch of people working here, just incredible, incredibly good people with heart and soul, with dreams and vision, and they range in terms of the diversity that you will have seen when they stood up and introduced themselves to you. And it's actually amongst the young that I've been trying to put some of my energies into, in terms of saying to them how to spread the message of what it is that Cornerstone has embarked upon. Where is it that Cornerstone is going? What does the future of Cornerstone look like through your eyes? And we have two young media people working with us, Chosha and Jaime, and they prepared a little video, and I'd like to ask them to share that video with you now, if you can, so that you can get some sense of what it is that they've come up with. And I have to say that they've done it under the leadership and management of Grant, as did he say surname incorrectly, Nas. Okay? I started off by saying Grant Noos, Grant Nas, and the leadership we provide in our marketing department. So are we ready to rock and roll, Leon? Okay.
While the world has seemingly become smaller, it has increasingly become more disconnected and fragmented. Amidst great suffering and sorrow, technological advancements and progress, and a renewed quest for spiritual connection, what society needs is people who are able to respond to these challenges in effective and life-giving ways. To this end, Cornerstone was founded in 1970 on the Cape Flats, when prospective black theologians were excluded from attending universities reserved for whites in South Africa. As the Cape Evangelical Bible Institute, it provided theological education for unqualified pastors. The Institute is historically grounded in a highly ethical ethos, emphasizing the relationship between leadership and professional integrity. It embraces students from all walks of life and is determined to build upon a genetic makeup that speaks to the development of leaders, both in South Africa and internationally. In 2004, Dr. John Volmink took over as the Principal and Chief Executive Officer of Cornerstone Christian College. With earning a PhD in mathematics education from Cornell University in 1988 and a period of 25 years in the United States, returned to South Africa in 1991. Dr. Volmink has also been centrally involved in curriculum reform in post-apartheid South Africa and has been asked by all four ministers of education to play a leading role in the transformation of education in the new South Africa. Cornerstone Institute is extremely privileged to have Dr. Volmink still serving as its president. Through the years, there have been a number of accreditation milestones for Cornerstone. Cornerstone is a not-for-profit, fully accredited, comprehensive, private higher education institution offering university-level programs comprising certificates, diplomas, and degrees across various disciplines. Its programs, driven through the Faculty of Humanities and the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Economic Transformation, include the Bachelor of Theology and Community Leadership, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts Honours in Community Development, Bachelor of Arts Honours in Psychology, Advanced Diploma in Intermediate Phase Teaching, Higher Certificate in Community Counselling, the Higher Certificate in Christian Ministry, Higher Certificate in Business Studies, the Higher Certificate in Interior Design and Decoration, and the Higher Certificate in Community Development. Some pending programs currently with the Council for Higher Education include the Advanced Diploma in Foundation Phase Teaching and the Bachelor of Commerce degree. In August 2015, Cornerstone Institute sourced a chief benefactor, Marcel Golding, who saw the potential that an institution and non-profit organization such as Cornerstone has to address challenges faced in Africa, particularly in South Africa and globally. He saw too that the Cornerstone model, built on social relevance, ethical and academic integrity, plurality, as well as financial sustainability, are important pillars to make the impact that we all seek in creating a prosperous, just, and equitable society. Cornerstone recognizes that values are not just what we talk about and teach, but are core to identity formation. Cornerstone is committed to building a highly ethical and principled worldview in all our students. We promote the values of inclusivity, excellence, integrity, unity, respect, and creativity to produce dynamic ethical leaders prepared to act as responsible citizens in a global society. The Cornerstone campus is a beautifully decorated and well-appointed world-class facility, has sufficient space to cope with the planned growth, new innovations, degrees, and course offerings. The campus has air-conditioned classrooms complete with state-of-the-art audiovisual facilities, which can hold between 20 and 100 students, an auditorium which can seat 450 people, as well as a number of meeting rooms. Its library has over 20,500 paper volumes and also access to multiple electronic databases. It has 2 computer labs, a writing center, abundant student study spaces, and sufficient offices for both faculty and administration staff. Cornerstone has a state-of-the-art multimedia development area, as well as 8 studios for online learning tutorials, a contact center for prospective students, and the warm and friendly Cornerstone coffee shop. The current facility also lends itself to building, growing, nurturing, and shaping the community, as well as providing spaces for faculty to engage with each other and with students. The atmosphere is one of family and community.
The thing I love most about Cornerstone is the idealism and the ethos.
It's made me realize that I do have a voice and that I have a God-given purpose.
There's this journey and process that really makes Cornerstone different from everything else.
Cornerstone Institute's exciting new direction and vision to meet the institution's goal in an even greater way to learn to change the world has been enabled by Noel Daniels, the Chief Executive Officer, who, since his arrival, has introduced a new vibrancy and energy to the organization. Cornerstone is increasing its footprint in South Africa, the rest of Africa, and indeed the world. With its continued focus on surface excellence, high-quality learning programs, innovation and responsiveness to social imperatives, it plans to take a leading role in developing our society into one that is prosperous, just and equitable, in addition to developing the technical and social skills to confront the numerous challenges we face. Cornerstone Institute is ready and invites you to join us as we learn to change the world together.
So yes, the board and management, yes, you would have heard that Cornerstone is a not-for-profit company or organization. The new language is a not-for-profit company. So we have a board, and our board and our management, we have great plans. We really believe that there's so much that can be done from this platform. So one of the things that we've done, and I'm very, very proud of this, because it's also it's an announcement that I can make today, is we've launched a faculty of entrepreneurship and economic transformation. And the faculty is being supported through a partnership that we now have in place with Grant Thornton. So to have been able to put that together such a short time for me, it indicates that we can indeed snowball this thing quite rapidly. In fact, we're snowballing it so rapidly that I'd like to introduce you to our acting dean. Our acting dean will eventually become the director of the Grant Thornton Business School at Cornerstone. And he's with us today. And ladies and gentlemen, his name is Terry Rabulana. Please give him a hand. Terry will be taking up his seat as the acting dean tomorrow. Because we just agreed today. And we've also got in place an arrangement where Grant Thornton will second some of their staff to support the work of this fledgling faculty. And so Gail is here, Gail, and Matilda. In the faculty, we have already incorporated two companies to work alongside Cornerstone and Grant Thornton. And I'm very proud to say that one of those companies is the Fundamental Training Centre. The Fundamental Training Centre is the company that I own and that I've been running for the last 10 years. So I'm very pleased that the work that we've done in that company will be carried into the fundamental, into Cornerstone's business faculty. We call it business faculty for short, because playing entrepreneurship and economic transformation can be a mouthful, but maybe we must learn to say it every time. So the Fundamental Training Centre team members that are here is Stephen. If you could stand up, Stephen. Fatima, she's in the front, and she's the receptionist that smiled at you. And Hilton's at the door. Many of you who have come today are associates of the Fundamental Training Centre, and I bow my head in gratitude to you. Okay, you know who you are. Thank you very much for coming. There's just one more person I'd like to acknowledge, who was my business partner for 10 years and just sold his share in the company to me earlier this year. And I think he said no, but I did that immediately, things started happening. And his name was Howard Johnson. Howard is the owner of Eurocenters, and he owns another company called Your Card. So thank you, and I need to acknowledge your presence here, Howard, and that 10-year partnership that I wouldn't have been in business if it wasn't for you. Thank you. In terms of our plan to be built in the faculty of entrepreneurship and economic transformation, we have already, as I mentioned, the Grant Thornton School of Business, but other aspects that we will be dealing with, we're currently putting in what we're calling a research incubator, and we've got amazing ideas, and we're inviting you to also put some of the ideas that you have into that incubator. And under the interim leadership of Terry as the dean, he will see how we can nurture those ideas and channel those ideas, because we believe that these ideas will inform the new programs and faculties, schools and departments that we want to establish at Cornerstone Institute, and maybe even move out into the world. So the ideas that are on the table, where the research incubator will be looking at issues like the green economy, business trends, applied science for a sustainable world, media and technology convergence, sports science, arts and culture, and engineering. So those fields have already been moved into the faculty's research incubator, and we already have proposals that are currently being reviewed, and strategies are being put in place to work further with that. You will have heard about our values And one key value that we've added is the value of inclusivity. And I need to point that out because I think it's important in terms of the shifts that I'm needing to lead, and I've been mandated to lead. And I've gained a huge amount of support from the staff on this matter and from the students. And that is that we needed to adopt a more inclusive approach. That yes, Cornerstone has a wonderful, powerful history of work within the Christian community and within the Christian ethos. And we do not want to lose that. We want to build on that. So the value of inclusivity then requires a shift for us to become more secular in our approach. So through a very sensitive process and under the very able leadership of Rob Stegman, our Dean of the Humanities, we have made a decision that the work that Cornerstone has done with regard to Christianity will be very firmly located within a faculty of ethics, philosophy, and religious studies. So in that way, we will continue to build on our strong history of theological work, and we also want to make it very clear that, as it always has been, that Cornerstone is a place for all. So we have consulted the students in that regard, and the response from the students was very heartwarming when they said to me, "But no, that's a no-brainer." So I'm very happy to say that yes, it's challenging. It's challenging when the culture has to change, when you feel as if there's a threat to what it is that you've always believed and stood for. But we've spoken about it. We've spoken about how the values that Christian people have and share and live by will continue to drive what it is that we do at Cornerstone. And we've invited people to write about it, to talk about it, to make sure that they champion those values in every aspect of the work that we do and will continue to do at Cornerstone. So yes, it is radical from some perspective. In other perspectives, it's absolutely needed. That's what we need to do right now, and what we as a staff, together with the students and the board, have decided is an imperative to ensure three things. One, the stability of Cornerstone Institute. Two, the viability of Cornerstone Institute. And three, the prosperity of Cornerstone Institute. So these are hard decisions that we have to make. But I'm pleased to say that the decisions have been made. And so we're moving on. So we source the best faculty. We ensure that the students who graduate from our institution are able to make a difference in all the fields of study that we provide. And you would have heard our fields of psychology, ethics, philosophy, religious studies, business, education, sociology, and community development. And we want to share a compelling story underpinned by a philosophy of education where we convey and transfer and embed the core values of our institution. So what is it that makes us different from other institutions? We believe that we have a signature approach where we offer a fundamental, foundational set of courses which we refer to as the Cornerstone courses. And these fundamental, foundational courses include history, sociology, ethics, philosophy, and economics. We have designed what we believe is a 4-year solution. We have a number of higher certificates in place. These are certificates at level 5. And we believe that once you've completed those certificates, you can proceed, or we know, we don't believe it, you can proceed to earning a degree. So our model then allows young people who have not managed to obtain, for whatever reason, a bachelor pass, and therefore will not be able to access the traditional universities or the public university, can come to Cornerstone and they can complete a certificate in all those fields that we've mentioned, which will be a pathway and entry to obtaining a degree. So parents whose children don't get a bachelor's pass sometimes break down in despair and throw their arms up and say, what are they going to do now? Can send the children to Cornerstone. Because here we have a 4-year solution for you. So within 4 years, your child will be able to earn a degree and proceed to our postgraduate studies, if so desired. So we believe that given the numbers that we have, currently we have an enrollment of 400, we don't intend to mushroom those numbers very rapidly. We're looking at setting a target of 600 students for next year to continue our tradition of caring and intimate community in service of our students, always in the first instance. So we provide a productive and stimulating environment in which learning can take place on our campus and also through the online learning environments that we already have in place. To this extent, we've incorporated a second company into our business faculty. That company is called Chart Learning Solutions. It has offices in Sweden and in the US, in San Diego. And we have confirmed that partnership. And on the 13th of November, we'll be having a launch event for that partnership. We will be sharing with our networks a sort of seminar dealing with the issue of blended learning. Because the programs that we offer is forward within that mantle. And you're invited to that now already. We are committed to community development in all its various forms. We are very focused on impact, and we want our programs to lead to jobs. So the work that we do is very much directed towards career preparation and pathways. Our fees are competitive. We were very pleased to establish that our fees at Cornerstone is half that of what other private universities charge. Again, to remind you, we are fully accredited with the Council for Higher Education, and we are registered with the Department of Higher Education. We are determined to increase our footprint in the rest of Africa and in the world. We are committed to service excellence, to high quality, innovation and responsiveness. And we are again inviting you to join us to learn to change the world together. I want to end by quoting a definition of what a university is that was provided by John Henry Newman in 1852. And when we saw this definition, it was published in a paper that the Council of Higher Education released, a paper which deals with violence, on the increasing violence on campuses across South Africa. And it was a reminder as to what universities are supposed to be about. And it resonated with all of us here at Cornerstone. So I want to share that with you before we move on to the second part of today's meeting. A university is a place where students from different backgrounds come to a require knowledge of different natures. A place where the communication and circulation of thought by means of personal engagement and interaction. A place in which thousands of schools of thought make contributions, and in which the intellect may safely range and speculate. And a place where inquiry is pushed forward, discovery is verified and perfected, and errors exposed by collision of mind with mind and knowledge with knowledge. Thank you.